mess around.
'Cause we know how to play.
We'll drop it down.
'Cause we know how to dance.
We'll veg it up.
Veg unite and dance.
Can we do it?
Search We Can online to find doable tips and activities that you can use every day to keep you and your kids healthy. Remember, that's We Can. A message from the Ad Council, HHS, and NIH's We Can program.
Talk 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach, WKIS HD3, Boca Raton, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
AM 1470, WNN, with more of what you need to know. Start your day with the Steve Kane Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. on South Florida's Health and Wealth Network, AM 1470, WNN. Attention, men. The Office of Dr. Matthew Leaf is conducting clinical research on men with low testosterone and symptoms of low energy, low sex drive, or ejaculation issues. To find out more, call 954-755-3801. Once again, if you have or think you might have low testosterone and any of the symptoms described, call 954-755-3801. You may be compensated for your time, and all study-related blood work, examinations, and testing is included. So call 954-755-3801 to find out more about the low testosterone studies.
In times of joy, in moments of grief, broadcasters come through, even when all else fails. Today, with more ways than ever to experience the moments that transform our lives, Americans still choose broadcast radio and television more than all other media combined. We are the local broadcasters of radio and television, reaching more people, touching more lives. Brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. I go to school with your children. We say the Pledge of Allegiance together. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. This problem is closer than you think. My teacher tells me we can grow up to be whatever we want. I want to grow up to be someone who doesn't go to bed hungry. There's enough food in this country to feed everybody. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me, quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is Talk 1470.
Talk 1470.
WNN.
So you take the mouse and click over there, and then you can choose someone you want to call.
My niece. I click here?
Uh-huh.
This is Louisa. Recently she got help going online to chat with her family back home.
Okay, so then you want to hit that green button.
This is her first time on the internet and her first time seeing her niece in 5 years. Louisa doesn't know what to expect.
Louisa? Oh my gosh, there she is. This is amazing.
It's so good to see you. You look so pretty.
But this is definitely way beyond.
Oh my gosh.
See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. That's 1-855-387-9166.
Oh, I've missed you.
Oh, me too.
Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
AM 1470 WNN. Listen live at wwnnradio.com and like us on Facebook. Search AM 1470 WWNN.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Golf and Travel Show, the place to fine-tune your swing, dress for the course, club, or cruise, and get tips on the best places to play and stay at the right price. Vacation or staycation, host Dan Shub, along with his expert co-hosts and guests, will tell you where to go. To play golf and vacation, that is. Now, here's Dan.
And welcome to the Golf and Travel Show. I'm your host, Dan Schub, and tonight, as always, we're going to talk a little golf and we're going to talk a little travel. And boy, we got a great show in store for you tonight. We're going to be joined by some wonderful guests, and I'll tell you who they're going to be. We're going to be joined tonight by Dr. Michael Layton, and I affectionately call him the Golf Doctor, and he's from Palm Beach Orthopedic Institute. Also, Diane Horn of AMA Waterways will be talking a little bit about river cruising, and Paul Wiggins of Resort World in Bimini is going to let everybody know how to maybe play a little games in the casino and go over to Bimini for the day and have a little bit of fun, make a few bucks. Also, we're going to have a special giveaway that we're going to kick off tonight, and we're going to have a really, really cool prize that anybody who's listening is going to have an opportunity to win, so you don't want to miss that. But first, what I want to do is introduce to everybody my co-hosts, and first we got Jerry Augustine, and Jerry, oh, there she is, she's coming in right now, and I don't know how we fit that boat into the studio, but Jerry brings with us 25 years of experience in the service and hospitality industry. She's currently the president and owner of Sea Dreams Travel, which is in Jupiter. And at Sea Dreams, she's that concierge who can create the perfect vacation for you and your family. Sea Dreams has a very knowledgeable staff that has traveled the world, and her tagline, "Your World, Your Way," is exactly what Sea Dreams is all about. And when you listen to the Golf and Travel Show and Jerry, she proves every week how booking travel yourself is not your best or easiest route. Say hello, Jerry.
Hi, everyone.
And there she goes. She'll be back, though. And also, my other co-host, which is Jess Frank, and he's a PGA teaching professional and owner of the Jess Frank Golf Academy at Boca Dunes and Country Club, Golf and Country Club in Boca Raton. And Jess specializes in on-course instruction with V1 video analysis, and he believes that every lesson and every swing is different. Just likes to focus on the scoring part of your game, the short shots that are taught on the golf course, which instills confidence. Some of you may know him from his work at area country clubs such as St. Andrews, Boca Lago, and Broken Sound. Jess loves to teach and has a passion for the game because golf is challenging, but Jess makes it easy for you to learn and excel. How you doing tonight?
I'm excellent, thank you. Good evening, Dan and Jerry. Hello, everyone.
And this is the time of the show where they get a little something for nothing, everybody. So you have some pearls of wisdom for the listeners tonight?
A few pearls, and hopefully they'll take this to the driving range and work on their game, or to the golf course, one of the two. And, you know, Dan, it's interesting is that one of the things that, people come to me for all different sorts of reasons, for lessons and getting better in golf, and if I were to ask, you or Jerry, what do you think would be the main thing that somebody comes to me for a lesson for?
Well, of course, I would venture to guess that they want to hit the ball further off the tee. That would probably be what they want, right?
Yeah, no, distance is definitely one of them. But Jerry, what do you think would be one of the reasons somebody comes to see me for a golf lesson?
Help.
Everything. Yeah, right. Everything. Yeah. Well, that's I like that, Jerry. That's a good one. But actually, the number one thing that people come to me for is just consistency. And getting out there, because, most golfers, they hit one shot left, one shot right, one shot rolls on the ground.
Yeah, military golf.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, left.
Exactly. And so, it comes to the fact of ball striking and hitting the club, or hitting the ball with a square club face. But the number one thing that I see, that with most amateur golfers, and I would say if I had a look at 100 golf lessons, and I bet you at least 95% of them do not aim correctly and do not line up correctly. And so what I see in the majority of golfers is that there's too many of them aiming too far to the right. And so if you're a right-handed golfer, you're aligning your shoulders and your feet and the club face.
So you're aiming right, and then you slice the ball too. So you're on another hole, is what you're saying.
Exactly. So it's like shooting a gun. You want to aim your gun at the target.
Thank God golfers don't have guns.
No, thank God. But that would be tragic. But yeah, so alignment is so critical in the game of golf, because what happens is if you align incorrectly, now you have to make compensations to get the ball going towards your target, because your mind is telling you, hey golfer, guy or girl,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? Your target's way to the left and you're aimed way to the right. So what do? But they swing over the plane or over the top. and that's where all their crazy mishits and inconsistencies come from. And so they start making compensations and piling one compensation on to another compensation.
See, it's funny when you're talking about all that. That's probably going to lead in perfectly to our first guest in a few minutes, because that's when you get golfer's elbow, when you're doing all this weird compensation for a poor swing, right?
Absolutely. I'm sure the doctor will
address
to the fact that what happens next is grip pressure, and then you start squeezing the club really tight, which affects your ligaments and your elbow.
So they can either visit you now and fix their swing, or visit Dr. Layton later.
I don't want to take any business away from Dr. Layton, but I'd like to have people have a little more fun and strike the ball a little more solidly. But yeah, I mean, if one of the drills that I love to do is that I have the golfer or my lesson set up on the range, and I put a alignment stick behind their heels. And if you do that, then that shows you where you're really aligned. And the majority of the time, I'd say, like I said, 95% of the time, people are aiming too far to the left.
When you're standing sideways to the line, obviously it's not that easy. But I'm assuming what you then do is have them stand behind that stick, and then you could really see where it's pointing.
Exactly, and people are amazed because they're aiming 30, 40 yards right at the target. And
the only people that like that are the guy who's playing against that guy for money, right? He's not going to tell you you're aiming the wrong way, right?
Exactly. So most golf swings, and all these compensations have been piled on for such a long time. So now we have to kind of unwind that,
right? All the muscle memory and whatnot.
Yeah, and then I send them to the range with a little golf lesson program.
Thought you were gonna say with like a little note pin on their shirt.
Well, pretty much. I always send a follow-up email to make sure that they're doing everything correctly. So, but that alignment, if they would just focus on that, because of the fact that golf is a side-on game, and it's one of those things where you don't stand on the target line like shooting a free throw or bowling. You're not looking at your target with both eyes. You're looking at the golf ball with both eyes, and the target's down to your left if you're a right-handed golfer.
Mm-hmm.
So alignment is key, and that's why you see even on tour when you go, if you've ever been to a tour event, you will definitely see the players, whether they're the LPGA Tour or the men's tour, putting alignment sticks down. And so that might be one of your best investments, for a teaching aid to help your game. So.
And that leads to our special giveaway that we're going to be doing during the month of December.
There we go. It's in the hole.
Of course. And that's what it's all about. And what we're going to do is this is called the Significant Improvement Giveaway. Okay, because we want everybody to improve significantly, and I think this time of year is when people make resolutions and they're going to decide what they're going to work on and how they're going to improve. And we want to help a listener to do that, right?
Absolutely. This is exciting.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to give away to one lucky listener, who we're going to select at random, a chance to play a round of golf with Jess and me at beautiful Boca Dunes Country Club in Boca Raton, and you could bring your significant other with you. But we define significant other, like most people, your spouse, your girlfriend or boyfriend, but it could also be your golfing buddy, because let's face it, a lot of golfers probably spend more time with their playing partner than they do with their other partner. So we won't exclude that. If that's your significant other, then that's fine. And if your New Year's resolution is to improve your game, you're going to benefit because Jess is going to be out there with you with tips and working on your swing and giving you some advice, so it'll give you an opportunity. Now, of course, transportation is not included, so if any of our listeners are listening on our streaming feed on the Internet or iHeartRadio or iRadio, you're going to have to get yourself to Boca to play with us, but we can't help you with that. But to enter, all that you need to do is to visit our Facebook page, like our Facebook page, and post a comment. Any comment, okay? Please, just one per day, no more than one per day, but each time that you do it, each day, you'll get another entry and another chance to win, okay? And we're going to run this until December 31st, which, of course, is New Year's Eve, which is when everybody makes their New Year's resolution, and we'll pick a winner right after the first of the year, and we'll let everybody know. So all you got to do is go to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/The Golf and Travel Show, spelled out, all the words, The Golf and Travel Show, and just post a comment, and we'll take a look, and of course at the end of the month I'll see all the comments that people posted, we'll put it all in a hat, we'll pick one lucky winner. So, significant improvement for somebody.
That's fantastic, and let me tell you something. I was out on the golf course at Boca Dunes today, and those greens are rolling amazing, and they're smooth and fast, so it will be a great round of golf.
Awesome. All right. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back with a couple of messages from our sponsors as well. So. And we're back, and what I want to do is give you a little bit of information about my good friend and co-host, Jess Frank, and he from the Jess Frank Golf Academy, which is the home of the Playing Lesson. And Jess Frank, who for 15 years has been improving golfers' ball striking, consistency, and distance, he's a PGA teaching professional, owner of the Jess Frank Golf Academy, which is located in Boca Raton at the beautiful Boca Dunes Golf and Country Club. So if you're a seasoned golfer who's trying to break 80, or a beginner, Jess's passion is to help you play better golf and have a lot of fun. Each lesson includes on-course time with V1 video analysis, focusing on improving all facets of your game. And for a limited time, new students who mention the Golf and Travel Show will receive a dozen Titleist golf balls with the purchase of a series of lessons. To learn more about the services of the Jess Frank Golf Academy, call 561-213-8579. That's 561-213-8579, or visit JessFrankGolf.com. And Jess, I think you got a message from one of our sponsors as well.
I do, and this morning I was giving lessons at the beautiful Boca Dunes Golf and Country Club, and it's a beautiful golf course located in Boca Raton with a par 72 championship course and a par 3 executive course. Boca Dunes is by far the best value in town and in amazing shape right now as well. And don't forget, this Wednesday, they are having a ladies' night on the 11th. For $30, you'll get a 1-hour lesson, 1-hour playing lesson, and a 1 hour of cocktails and hors d'oeuvres. There's raffle prizes and giveaways as well. Call Tammy at 561-451-1600, extension 101 for more information. Also, if you're looking for a great place to spend New Year's Eve, Boca Dunes offers a night of dinner, dancing, hors d'oeuvres, continuous DJ music for 5 hours of open bar, party favors, and champagne toast at midnight, all for only $85 per person. Contact the events department at 561-451-1600, extension 116, or email them at bocadunescatering@comcast.net.
And we're back, and that song, that's a little old, I think. We really had to dust that one off, but it just,
I like it.
I thought it was fitting for a good friend of mine, somebody that I've not only known for a long time, spoken golf for a long time, but literally had him fix almost every bone in my family. So without any further ado, from Palm Beach Orthopedic Institute, the golf doctor, Michael Layton. How you doing, Michael?
I'm just awesome, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just so pleased that you finally could talk with us on the show. We've been talking about you for weeks now, so it's nice that you're finally having an opportunity to join us.
Great to be here.
And we had spoken a while back, and I had told you that the first topic that I would love for you to address is a problem that I'm having, so I could get like a free consultation here on the air. And I know that it's a problem that a lot of golfers have, and I'm sure you know it as well, because they probably come to visit you every day, and that's golfer's elbow. So why don't you let everybody know a little bit about what the symptoms of golfer's elbow is and what perhaps somebody could do to fix it before they have to come and see you.
Sure, Dan. Golfer's elbow, unlike tennis elbow, is on the inner aspect of the elbow. And if you're a right-handed golfer, the inner aspect of the right elbow. And usually you get it, or it starts when you hit a ball a little bit heavy. And I know that's never happened to you, Dan. I know it happens to me a lot. And, what happens is you get a pain on the inner aspect of the elbow, and it's sharp. And every time you swing thereafter, you're going to get this discomfort on the inner aspect of the elbow. And, guys will come to me and they'll say, every time I hit an iron or I hit something a little bit heavy, I get this sharp shooting pain in the elbow. And there's no radiating symptoms. It doesn't go down into your hand. It doesn't go down into your fingers. It's just a sharp pain on the inside of the elbow. And basically it's a tendonitis, and it's where the flexor tendons, those tendons that control the wrist, emanate from. And unfortunately, it's a nagging problem. Guys that are playing a lot of golf will get it.
Now, what we were discussing before with Jess earlier in the show, we were talking about people who have a bad swing who are trying to compensate. Do you believe that a bad swing causes this as well, and that if somebody would fix their swing, they'd be more likely or less likely to have this issue?
Well, frequently you'll have a golfer that kind of opens up at the top of their swing, and then as they're coming down, they're trying to close the club face, and that aggressive wrist flexion. That is, their right wrist flexing will cause pain on the inner aspect of the elbow. So it is a forceful muscle contraction on the inner aspect of the elbow that causes it.
Now, with my issues, I know that I did certainly have it on the underside, but also I had some swelling on the top as well. And I believe that ice was the appropriate thing to do that. I sometimes get confused between the heat and the ice or whatever. So what would you recommend? Is it ice? Is it Advil? What could somebody do before they come to visit you?
Yeah, certainly any inflammatory condition will respond to ice. And it's ice after you play. So, while you're sitting and having that Mick Ultra 19th hole, if you've got some ice and put it on the inner aspect of the elbow for about 7 to 10 minutes, that'll alleviate a lot of the symptoms. People ask me all the time, is it heat or is it ice? And heat is generally for warming up a muscle, warming up a joint, and warming up an inflammatory condition that you've got at the beginning of play. So, stretch and heat at the beginning, and then ice after you're playing.
Okay, and I mean, does it ever get to a point where it's really bad that there is, do you ever operate on somebody who has golfer's elbow? Does it ever get that bad?
Well, ultimately, the answer in short is yes. Ultimately, it can get to that point, but there are many, many things that you need to do beforehand before you consider surgery. And, anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen, and I typically have my patients do 600 milligrams of 200 milligram Advil tablets prior to playing, and you can do that 3 times a day, and it probably won't affect any of your medical issues or other medical issues. And you've got to ice afterwards, Advil or anti-inflammatories beforehand, and stretching prior to playing, and that is stretching your wrist. That is with your elbow in extension, and you stretch your wrist both up, or what we call dorsiflexion, and down, or palmar flexion, to stretch the outer aspect of the elbow muscles as well. Do that before you play.
Okay, so like I say, for me, that's something that I deal with, and I know a lot of other people do, but also I know that, especially in Florida, we do have some senior players as well, and not that it only happens to seniors, but sometimes people need to have different parts replaced. And I know that you sometimes do full replacements and partial replacements and hips and knees, and I think knees are one of the more common procedures that you do. I guess a partial knee replacement is preferable if you could do that before a full one needs to be done. Why don't you explain a little bit about who comes to see you and what kind of symptoms they have when, possibly they need to get a new knee or a partially new knee?
Yeah, as you know, Dan, I see a lot of patients with knee problems. And in general, people that have arthritic conditions, or that is loss of the cartilage space, either on the inner aspect of the knee or throughout the knee, will be diagnosed on a plain old X-ray. You don't need an MRI right away. So, your orthopedic surgeon will get an X-ray, and if you've got isolated inner compartment arthritis, you might be a candidate for a partial knee replacement. obviously, again, the conservative treatments are paramount first. Anti-inflammatory, sometimes steroid injections. There are injectable joint fluids of hyaluronic acid that, given in a series or in a single injection, can provide long-term relief. But if those things don't work, we start talking about resurfacing or partial knee or total knee replacements. Patients that have arthritic changes throughout their knee are candidates for a total knee replacement. The patients that have isolated inner compartment arthritis, that's the inside of the knee, are great candidates for what's called a partial or medial compartment arthroplasty. What I've been doing over the past 5 or 6 years is something called a Makoplasty, and that is a unicompartmental knee replacement using a computer-navigated and computer-guided system. It's a robotic technique that is a computer-aided design, effectively. A CAT scan is done for on the patient, and a computerized software program allows us to choose the appropriate size and position of the prosthesis that's put in. In surgery, we use GPS technology to allow us to navigate the knee and put the prosthesis in the appropriate position based on the preoperative planning, combining that with the intraoperative mapping of the knee. And it's a fantastic adjunct. And, it's a relatively new technique, but has achieved phenomenal results in my hands and the hands of many, many orthopedic surgeons around the country.
Well, I got to tell you, I think I first met you maybe 17 or 18 years ago. I have a funny feeling that some of this technology did not exist then.
Dan, you come out of residency and fellowship, and you expect that you know everything that there is to know, but nothing is for sure but change. And this is a technique that has come out of technology in other industries and has been applied to orthopedics, and it's been a phenomenal change for those practicing in the sports medicine and reconstructive aspects of orthopedics.
So I want to say, so if I get this done, am I going to be shooting, scratch golf? But of course I never did before, so I guess that won't happen.
There's something about this knee replacement or partial knee replacement, Dan, that does not affect your putting.
Thank you.
He needs putting help. That's the problem.
Thank you for reminding everybody about that. But how quickly can somebody expect to come back from this and get out there and be able to play again? Because obviously, many of our listeners are just avid golfers, and they probably stall and wait forever because they don't want to have to stop playing at all. But how quick can they get back on the course?
Right. As you know, a total knee replacement patient will probably take between 2 and 3 months before they can start hitting balls. The partial knee replacements respond easily 50% faster than that. So I've got patients who are hitting balls about 3 or 4 weeks after their partial knee replacement. It's just for the right patient, it's been a phenomenal adjunct to my orthopedic practice.
So you can make them good as new, huh?
Good as they can be, probably not as new, but certainly they're able to walk down a hill. They're able to get in and out of bunkers without feeling like they need a cane or a hand up. It is something that even my older patients, and I'm talking guys in their 70s and 80s, have responded very, very quickly and gotten back to play in a remarkably fast fashion.
So the advice I have for everybody is if you've got these ailments, don't ignore them. They can be fixed, and Dr. Layton can help you. So what you need to do is give Dr. Layton a call at 561-694-7776, or you can visit the website for Palm Beach Orthopedic Institute at pboi.com. And he's going to help you out. So that's what I recommend. And thank you, Michael, for coming on. And hopefully we'll get you to come on to talk about some other ailments that our golfers are facing on a daily basis so that they'll know that there is help out there for them.
Dan, it's been my pleasure. We'll do it again real soon.
All right. You take care, Michael.
Bye-bye.
Cinderella story, out of nowhere. A former greenskeeper now about to become the Masters champion.
It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole!